alchemicacademic.com. You are the book. Monthly courses designed to help you read yourself. Book now. alchemicacademic.com. You are the book. Monthly courses designed to help you read yourself. Book now.
Peace to the family. It is your boy, the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. I'm here with Prime Serpent. We're about to
get old.
It never does, man. It's like
it never does.
It's so beautiful, dog. I can't even lie.
So dynamic. It's so dynamic.
It's so poignant. You feel me? I don't even know if that word fits, but I'm gonna go with it.
We're gonna make it fit.
We're gonna make it fit. You feel me? And we're just going to do our thing, man. Let me speak correctly. I mean, whatever, man. I don't know. I'm confused, okay?
So No, you're not.
We have candid conversations all the time, and it's always dope to kind of bring these candid conversations to the people. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to, talk like we always talk. We have a couple of topics that we're going to bring about. And before people get here, I want to do, for the people who are watching this video post live and kind of knock two birds off with one stone. This Saturday, 5 p.m., we're doing a course. We're doing a class. We're doing a conversation. I don't know what you call it, but we got a lot of supplemental energies that will give you enlightenment. We're referencing education. Education meaning that we're bringing out what is naturally within you. And this isn't something that we've just begun. If you've been on my channel, you know what I'm about. This Saturday, 11/28, 5 p.m., we are going through the throat chakra activation course. Now, before I get into the throat chakra in this actual course, I'll give how did we get here? That's what I'll call this section. How did we get to this point before we get into the throat chakra? So if you aren't hip to anything that we're doing, sign up anyway. And we know Prime Harmonic, he is going to take us through the chakras from the root up into the throat. That's just how it is. It's not going to be a situation where you're not going to understand this. You're going to understand your throat chakra and your chakras, and it's going to be simplified. However, we need you to sign up. We need you to join. We need you to, bring your energy, because we're formulating, we're cooking, we're making the dinner. Right. So when you're making the dinner, it's like, it might look a little weird. The food might be a little raw, right? The seasonings haven't all meshed together. However, when this thing is said and done, you will have one of the greatest meals you ever had. And that's just the facts. I'm not referencing just jumping on the scene one day and just gassing y'all up. If y'all been paying attention, I've been talking about this every time I opened up this thing for the past 5 months. So if y'all don't know, that's a buildup, right? Y'all probably not used to energies building up. You know how things are. You do something for 5 days, 2 days, 3 days. You get tired of it. You get bored with it. Guess what we're not doing? Guess what we're not doing? We're not bored with it. We're not uninterested. I would even go one better. I'm getting deeper into these damn chakras. How about y'all?
Yep, for sure.
I'm way more excited about this process than I was at the beginning.
I concur.
Yeah.
I absolutely concur.
So, with all due respect, I have the Dark Serpent here. I have Prime Harmonic here, my cohorts on this journey. And it begins November 28th. Well, it doesn't begin, it continues. November 28th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the description. However, you can message us. I just filled in 2 spots for some people that are overseas. So if you're having any trouble with the platform of like getting in the course, be sure to DM me, DM Prime Harmonic, DM Dark Serpent, DM one of us, and let us know, like, hey, having trouble with the platform. Hey, let me know. Shit, I don't got $23, but I'm really interested in speaking my truth. You don't think that I won't put you in the damn course? Like, I mean, it depends. You feel me? Like, it depends. But generally, if 23 is an issue for you, let me know. Because I know, like, people not working and they don't got $23. Like, I've not had $23 but been interested in something. But if you don't let me know you interested in this course and you feel some shame and guilt, well, guess what? This course is goddamn perfect for you because we absolving all of that shit Saturday, November 28th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to appreciate everybody for joining in. It seems like we got some people in the room. And we got a list of topics that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to just throw some things out to these brothers. You know, these is my bash brothers, you feel me? I be throwing underhanded. They be hitting shit out the park, you feel me? So I enjoy this position, you know, softballing, you know, these dynamic questions. And what I want you guys to do is understand that we reference in the collective. So it's not like we just talking about ourselves or we're shadow projecting. We are literally trying to have a dynamic conversation to provide some solutions. We getting into that Chiron journey, but before we get into that, I want to talk about what we were just talking about with these holidays. And I just was listening to Dark, and he was referencing how busy he was. And I'm like, shit, I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then when I was saying this yesterday, because I'm like preparing for my radio debut. And I was telling them about my day, and they like, well, it sounds to me like you need some self-care. And I thought they was going to be like feeling sorry for me, giving me some sympathy. They said, wow, you seem like you need to take a little bit better care of yourself. And I said, how are you just going to read me like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, where we feel like being busy is a badge of honor. To me, it seems like that's a lack of self-care, but where y'all at on
that? Prime Serpent, you want to start?
Activate.
Well, I guess it depends on your perspective, and I know, like I tout myself as being the king of perspective, right? So, like, the busyness, is it used as a form of distraction? Are you actually distracting yourself from being within alignment, or is alignment a thing that you don't even care for? You know, like, I was just telling these brothers that I was busy the last 2 days, but I was busy all within alignment. You know, I had no desire to do anything other than complete this task that when I looked around, you know, there was no one else to complete it. So I took some time off from my study. I took some time off from this chakra work, you know, because this is like every day for me. Like, I breathe, and the idea of getting these multitude of tasks done, which is, you know, cooking this dinner, you know, for something that I don't even celebrate, I had to take that out of myself to create something for myself. Hold on. But the idea of being busy, it was for me because I never did it before. So I wanted to venture out and do something that I've never done before and see if I was actually capable of doing it. And the busyness of it was busy because it was a lot that I was doing single-handedly. And to be able to create and do something that you never thought to be possible
Mm.
and do it well. And
Sounds like a little self-care to me, but I
Yeah.
digress.
yeah. Like, you know, do it without any ego involved, because it wasn't like I was doing it for acknowledgement. It wasn't like I'm certainly not doing it for praise. Again, I don't celebrate this holiday, you know, so I'm doing it because I'm the one that's here, and I'm doing it because it was a task that was put in front of me, and I wanted to see if I could complete it. And guess
That's
what?
dope.
I completed it.
Yeah.
You know, so the self-care part was me figuring out that I could actually do something without even knowing that I could actually do it. So I hope that answered.
That's lit. That's lit.
Straight up, man. When you said that, it reminded me of what I was going through at work. It's like I'm trying to, I got that course I need to finish for Spirit Doula. She's helping me try and find other streams of income, you know, and I'm trying to get into that with like my own work, whether it's through helping people heal or helping to educate people about just different stuff in the world. Whatever I can do that can help add to my income means I should be able to spend a little more time, you know, working on the stuff I want to work on, or working with family, or just chilling. So that's been like heavy on my mind. And it feels like every time I'm doing something that's not sitting down and meditating on my energy, I feel like I feel this pressure behind me. Like, I got to hurry up and get this done so I could get back and meditate. I got to hurry up and get this done so I can sit and read more about this energy or read more about the chakras, you know. And it's like, I've been learning more, like you said, Dark Serpent, I've been learning more to do the task without letting that pressure be a burden. So I'm like, okay, if I got to do this task before I can go and meditate, then damn it, I'm going to do this task in a way that makes sure that it's off my mind, off my plate, you know, fully, so that when I go to meditate, I'm clear, right? And I find that as I've been operating more and more like that, like making sure that I do the best I can, putting good energy into it, and, you know, wrapping it up all nice with a bow, then when it is time for me to get to my self-care, it's that more enriching for me, even if I don't have a lot of time for that self-care, because I don't have that other stuff on my mind. So yeah, man, the self-care thing has been hot with me, and I've just been trying to find more creative ways to do it, whether it's 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the middle of my day, half an hour. Do I have to get up at 4:00? You know, if I want to sit up and meditate for half an hour, right? Get it in where I can. And to not cast shade on the other stuff that I have, the human stuff that I have to do. The less that I've been casting that shade, the better I've been feeling. So yeah, that's where I am with that.
Y'all speaking my whole life right now, and it's kind of weird. But yeah, I thought I was the only one. That's so interesting. That's so interesting.
I got that little nugget from Hood, you know, a few months back, you know, about being able to practice meditation without actually sitting and meditating. You know, there's walking meditation. You know what I'm saying? There's completing a task at hand and meditating while you're completing that task. You dig what I'm saying? So like I could take myself completely out of that situation and still complete that task and be meditating the whole entire time.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing that I can
irony to that, what you're saying, and I'm gonna let you go, is that you are always meditating. Now, the existential you that doesn't exist is illusion. Like the video game part of you is like climbing that mountain, going to that job, driving that car. But the you, right? It's like one of those mirrors that replicate, right? Because say for instance you got a joystick in your hand, right? Yeah, that's like that's literally you meditating because you sending signals.
Dang.
And your body is then responding to the signals that you sending, but it's all meditating. And then your avatar, right, is in a world, in a
Wow.
matrix,
Yeah.
right?
All by
Yeah.
itself. All by
All by
itself.
itself, right? Supposedly, right? Like you gotta fight monsters, right?
Yeah.
Gotta kill
Lions,
people.
tigers, and bears. Lions,
Talk about
tigers, and
something. I wish I
bears.
could meditate while I was doing this.
and talk about I
Mhm.
wish I could meditate.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So when you lose yourself,
Mm.
right? In the game,
Mm.
Mhm.
you gotta tap into the controller, right? You gotta tap into the hands. See, the hands then turn into Gemini for real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you
Yeah.
understand medical astrology is just an analogy for how these modalities work in the astral. I'm just getting
Absolutely.
a full download right now for
Yes,
no
sir.
reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. That's right and exact right there. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have thought of it better right there. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right and exact.
We always
That's right and
meditating. So
Yeah.
your awareness
Yeah.
is very key in this whole
Yes.
thing. Cause it just might be a busy ass game.
Mm-hmm.
It might
Yeah.
be a chill
Yeah.
game. You ever played No
Yeah.
Man's Sky? Ain't nothing happening.
Ooh.
You just building worlds
Nothing.
and shit. Like you just
Wow.
No Man's Sky.
World on top of world. World
you
on
just
top of
you
world.
just building worlds. You know what I'm saying? This is deep,
That's
man.
tight.
This is dope.
That's tight.
You know what I'm saying? So let's move
You
on,
always
man.
meditating.
I think
Always- you always
compartmentalizing compartmentalizing is an awesome concept. That's why I honestly
Yeah.
like go ahead though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, and it is though, because it's like if you really think about it, dog. Like if you caught up in what part of you are you caught up in?
Right.
Because if you're caught up in the part of you that got low energy, you on your last life, you know what I'm saying? You in the 5th level, you feel me? You got a dragon that you can't keep, you keep getting, you keep beating your ass, you feel me? And you just don't want to do it no more. Like then you have to realize like maybe I'm not that good at this game, right? Or I need to switch the game, or damn. Back in the days, I
Or you
used to
could
get a
be-
goddamn
you could be-
study guide. You feel me? Like I would learn the
Yeah.
You
goddamn
could be
game
one of
so I
those-
could win.
You could be one of those niggas. You could be one of those niggas that get to the dragon and just press reset every time. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
keep resetting this.
You
know
ever
what I'm
been
saying?
scared?
Just keep
You ever been
resetting.
scared of a boss, a crime boss?
Yeah,
Like you didn't
yeah.
wanna, like you didn't want to even go.
Ducking and dodging. I'm gonna take this way instead of that way, so I don't run into him. Yep.
It's like if I don't get a code, I'm not even gonna play this
ASAP.
game because I can't win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
But then it's like you ever had a game that's been real challenging, but you just sat and you end up getting cold at that shit though. Like your
Yeah.
friends is coming over, like, hey, like you a spectacle. You feel me? You don't remember that point where it's challenging, but somehow you and that game
Dang.
clicked. You feel me? So
Yeah.
That sound,
can
that
be
sound like
challenging.
Contra. That sound like
It
Contra.
sound like
Remember
Zelda.
Contra?
That was Zelda for me.
Okay.
Zelda was very challenging.
Okay,
at
okay.
first.
Zelda was the joint. Yeah.
And then I got a point. I got real nice at it though. I got super nice. Like in it. I promise you, Zelda saved a lot of my formative years because I was either going to be out in the streets or playing Zelda. But yeah, man, it's interesting, man. As this reflection right now.
I like that, man. I like that.
I always get these downloads with y'all, man, and that's what
That's cool. That's what it's
these
about.
conversations be about, man. And so the Chiron journey. So we was talking about Chiron
Yes, yes. I just
over the break and or over this week. I referenced it.
yeah.
Of course, when I was doing the study, I was thinking about you, but I ain't tell you that. I was
right.
like, if he gonna come with his own download, he gonna come with his own download. I'm not gonna be pretentious. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm talking about Chiron this week. You know what I'm saying? However,
right.
I know that this whole process, like you've been more than generous, you know what I'm saying, with your time and your energy, and I can't be nothing but grateful. And you always explain it to me as a Chiron journey. So,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to the woe is me energy, you chose to tap into a level of Chiron of the wounded healer. So, like, how does that look for you? Like, how are you displaying that? And then how do you feel? And another point, can you have any reference of people your same age, same energy that's not looking at it as if I'm a wounded healer, not just a wounded person?
Yeah. So I would say the way I see it, like it had to be brought to my attention. I didn't even know about Chiron until I talked to an evolutionary astrologer, like, I don't know, it's probably 3 or 4 years ago. And, she was telling me about where my Chiron was in my chart, and I was coming up on my Chiron return. I'm like, okay, what's that? Can you spell that? Who are you talking about? And she explained that Chiron was named that because of the qualities that people noticed when that celestial body returned in people's charts. So Chiron was a centaur, and Chiron was mortally wounded, but because he was like half immortal, half mortal, his mortal side died. But he had been like schooled by Apollo and some other folk. I can't remember the whole story, but learned a lot of healing arts, and he was able to, help heal his fellow centaurs, when they were hurt. So Chiron return for people, it usually happens like 49 to 51. I just turned 50 actually on the 24th. My Chiron return.
Let's clap it up for the man solar return, man. Let's get some ashes and some happy solar returns. I see that chat lit up light up.
Happy solar return. Glorious solar return. Glorious.
Yeah, man. I never thought I would see 50. When I was in my 20s growing up in DC, everybody kept saying, yeah, you black man, you probably gonna die before you hit 22 or 20, right? And my life was like just a day at a time, really. I wasn't planning for the future. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to keep on living. I'm going to keep on living. And, here I am. So I'm going to keep on living. But so that Chiron return is like everybody has had to go through some bumps and bruises, as you said, Hood, as they learn to wear their avatar in this life. They have had to go through some bumps and bruises. And those bumps and bruises are there to kind of ring our bells, to wake our soul up that we have focused into this avatar. When we start out as energy and we focus into planes of density. So it's like if you're looking through a microscope and you're looking at what's on the slide, you don't think about the whole tube of the microscope. You just looking through that lens and you seeing the image, and you're one with what you're looking at. You're not thinking about all the stuff you got to look through. Just like you said about the game, you ain't thinking about the wires and the console and the TV. You just looking at the screen. Like, here's my Zelda character. I'm right there. You bypassing all of that. And when we come into this reality, our energy, we bypass all of the phenomena that makes us as creation. So learning how to deal with that phenomena that makes us is where we get our bumps and bruises. So everybody has something to teach. And then it becomes a question of, okay, when you get to your Chiron return, are you going to be one of those hurt people that hurt people? Are you going to be one of those hurt people that heal and say, "Ooh, I'm done. Got it. I'm done." Ooh, you got to do it on your own. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps now, youngin. Or are you going to be one of those hurt people that learn how to heal and then help others heal, right? So everybody goes through that choice in their lifetime. And the way I've seen it, the teachers that I've had in my life that have decided they were going to help others, they have a genuine kind of glow about them. It's like the people you want to ask questions to, and they'll gladly tell you. They might not volunteer the information, but if you talk to them and ask them about it, they'll spill it. And then I would say the people that healed, but maybe didn't get to the point where they are learning to share with others, you can feel that hesitation in them. You know, when you speak to them, you know something's up, but you always know when somebody ain't ready to talk. I just put it that way. And then you got the hurt people. Luckily, my law of attraction has been kicking in, and I've not been attracting those folk, and I want to keep it that way. Because you got people that's like, man, if I had to be hurt, you're gonna be hurt. But where that comes in, let me see, who was I listening to? Who was this telling? Juju the Traveler. She put out on her YouTube, she put out a video talking about healing ancestral bad energy, right? Especially dealing with money. And she was talking about how she wanted to go to a particular conference that somebody who was rich was putting on. And her dad didn't want to give her the money because the guy was rich, you know, and he was like, well, if the guy's rich, he's obviously scamming you, you know, and she's like, that's the kind of stuff we got to break, right? So Chiron Return means healing that stuff. And if you don't heal it, then you're going to be those people that continually hold other people back. You're going to be one of those people that's like, you know, well, I wasn't allowed to do it, so you ain't going to be allowed to do it. But why? Why? You know. So anyway, I won't even say I try to avoid them, because I don't, because that's attracting that. What I say is, I have learned to heal some aspects of myself, and I'm not looking for broke people. I'm looking for people that's also working on healing aspects of their self. If I can help by sharing some of the things that I know, then that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not ashamed to want to be prosperous at it, because my family got to eat too. Gas ain't free. I can't pull up to the gas station and be like, yo, I want you to heal and be better. Now give me some gas.
You know what? I really love the gas that you be pumping, dog. Like, you pump the best gas. You are the best. Like, y'all have the best gas. Like, out of all the
I feel like the way you grab the handle. I feel like the way you grab the handle, that is artistic. I really do. Like, that is a true creative process. The way you put that in the hole, that is just like, that is auspicious right there. I swear.
Oh shit! Thank you. Yeah, that's the problem right there.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
like, people don't need compliments. People need support. And you don't necessarily know that people need support until you out here. Like I'm out here. So it'd be different if, like, and then it wouldn't be different. See, that's the thing too. I feel like if you're like working and then you have a side hustle, well, that means that I really need to get paid if I'm working. You feel me? So like, if I don't have a 9 to 5, like, I just focus in on multiple streams of income. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is that I don't focus in what other people got or compare myself to other people. I just try to be a better Kyrie. You know what I mean? And because of that, you know, I still need support. And that's like, people like, man, I like the way that you do what you do. And I'm like, that ain't helping nothing, dog. Like, that's cool. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I needed that it's like, I needed that incubation. But it's like, once you break out of that seed and you become a plant, the energy that you needed to germinate is not going to be the energy that you need to further flourish. Yeah. Now I need sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Now I need rain. You feel me? Like, fertilizer. Different variations. Yeah, fertilizer. You know what I'm saying? Don't shit on me though. You feel me? Like, you know? My wife on the live today, yesterday, she was like, man, they be putting sugar on shit and calling it an ice cream sundae. I said, what? Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'm real fortunate that I caught you at this time, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, a year from now, I'm going to have to be talking to your assistant. Like, is Prime available? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Snap. Yeah, man. Yeah.
That is amazing. That's amazing. That truly is amazing.
Nice old Sunday.
Yeah. That's just awesome. But that's poignant though. It's again right like that.
What did that mean?
Like it's on right on time, on point.
Okay, because I never knew. It just sounded good.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It sounded good when I said it. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna say saints, masters, teachers, and everybody who gives selflessly to the collective for nothing in return, right? They all have two things in common. They all absolutely 110% deserve to be venerated, which is held to a high regard and revered, just like these two individuals I'm on this live with. But you know what also they have in common? They almost all die poor. So the reason why I point that out is that is another part of our shadow projection where we feel like we are not supposed to ask for being compensated for our time, even though
that's what
we
Juju
are
was
giving,
talking about. That's it.
Even though we are giving selflessly to the fucking collective. Like, I shouldn't have to feel ashamed because I need to be compensated so I can keep giving you what it is that you need for me to give you, aka healing, whatever you want to describe it as.
Gas, or hamburgers,
right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you feel me? Like, you pay for goddamn Starburst, don't care.
Yeah,
your teeth
out. Yep.
Nobody cares.
I said this to.
I asked for a couple dollars on the Cash App.
See. Yeah. You try what you faking. You trying to manipulate me out of my money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there you go.
So I said these two V words to Hood yesterday on the Instagram because I was making reference to him and Prime Harmonic, optimistic Prime Harmonic, and I said virtue and veneration, and he said, you know, English my second language. Explain that, you know.
I don't know what the words be meaning, dog.
So virtue. I'm telling you right now, it makes. All right, so virtue. I mean, virtue, dog. Like virtue. There is a level of virtue that exists within the individual. I'm trying to. You gonna let me explain it? You gonna just keep cracking jokes because we can just do the joke thing. I do the jokey joke thing too. I ain't mad. We can do the jokey joke thing.
I used to be a virgin too. Is that what we talking about? Virtue.
What's that?
Virtue.
I used to be a virgin too. Go ahead. No more jokes.
I'm just. You know what? You know what? See, this is why you don't compliment kings. Like, you don't compliment gods neither. They just sit down and look at you like, your words mean nothing to me. You know? You can't compliment a god. Like, the god don't understand what you're talking about. So, you know, their level of veneration, because they deserve to be venerated and because they exemplify so much virtue, they embody virtue, you know, high moralistic regard, rightful morals, where these are not morals that they exemplify because they're looking for credit. These are morals that they just have in their being. It is who and a part of who and what they are. They still deserve to be compensated for that. They still deserve to be paid for that. They still don't have to be that, but they are still that every single day.
But I think it's kind of you making it hard when it ain't really that hard. And I'm gonna throw an idea to you.
It ain't. It's
only because we melanated men that it's a problem. You feel me? On what we're actually doing. Like the black preacher gets criticized, but it's all types of preachers and priests and cardinals, and they live a good life.
Bless his heart.
you know, and you go to a monastery, you can go to a communal school, you know what I'm saying? You could go to a ministry school and things of that nature. All mumbo jumbo, if you boil it down to it. Nobody's saying anything. The inner racism, the inner saboteur is literally that worthiness or deservedness that has to be healed, tying back into Chiron, because it's somewhere down the line it was a problem for me, my daddy, my granddaddy to be rich, to be happy without being a hard worker.
Yeah.
What they say about your granddaddy. Oh, he worked hard at the mill.
Yeah.
He worked hard at the factory. He worked hard at the farm, right? Where is the granddaddy that was a master manifester that manipulated his reality and was inept and just being wealthy, letting money come to him? Shit, you feel what I'm saying? Just a prosperity guru. You understand? Why is that so far-fetched in your mind? Why do I have to go over these leaps and bounds to be prosperous or even justify my prosperity? Because to me, it's because of who I am. And this is something that I have to work through in order to get to my prosperity, because from Tony Robbins to Lisa Nichols to you name it, man, they out here speaking, they saying mumbo jumbo, and people is eating it up. Where you got to retreat at? 10,000? That's not enough. I want to pay 20,000. I want the executive luxury suite.
Right.
And people go there, they cash out $1 million. They got a whole staff. Ain't nobody batting an eye. So what is it within us? And I'm going to toss it back to you. What is it within us that we can't just normalize being rich as fuck?
Psychology. See, this idea that hard work is extenuating and physically extensive. That's the problem. If it was hard, then everybody wouldn't be doing it. But everybody's working 80 hours a fucking week. If it's hard, right? Hard work, everybody is not doing hard work. Everybody is doing a lot of work. There is a difference, right? If it was hard, right? Everybody's not doing hard work. Everybody's doing extensive work. They're doing a lot of work. You're putting a lot of hours in on the clock, getting paid for time. But the hard part is learning how to do all that shit within your mind and creating the reality of abundance and bringing it to you. That's the hard work.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that here first from Dark Serpent. Don't forget it.
Like that this idea that I need to get up and go and work 100 hours a week for 40, 50 some odd years just to put my kids through school and only make enough money to get through rent at the end of my life. That's not hard work. That's just stupidity. That's psychology, my G. Yeah. Extensive physicality does not equal hard work. Hard work is manifesting within your mind, being the sorcerer, the puppet master, and bringing that to you. That's hard. This shit where I'm just going all day, every day, like that's not hard work. You just like you're the rabbit or the rat on the fucking wheel. Just you know what I mean? Like that's not hard work. That's just extensive. That's not hard. You dig what it's psychology. It's embedded in us that we think we need to work 100 hours a week in order for us to be equated to doing a hard job or doing hard work. No, the hard work is learning how to complete the task within your mind and then figuring out how to move around what is going to be extensive physically and making it come to you. That's hard.
So you deserve to be venerated, and that was valuable. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're very virtuous.
Shoot. Hells yeah.
You know what? Yo, I'm just gonna say this: the two of you, never mind.
So man, so we in the realms of the occult, man. So if you join the course, one of the first things that I'll talk about is John chapter 1 verse 1. Right? I'm gonna talk about that. But to expound on that,
I swear I'm trying not to laugh. I swear.
Nah. Prime dropped on me the Koto Dama yesterday, and Prime and Dark gave me like some background music that will play to kind of set the tone and set the vibrations.
Yeah.
But we speaking about the word being God and language and sounds being a manipulation or a limitation of that actual power. So this is how I'm imagining it, Prime, and you help me.
Yep.
It's like we on the highway or something, and like you could go any direction you want to go to, but the English language is like you got to walk in the forest along the highway, like deep in the highway, and just kind of follow this trail. Meanwhile, our voice is like any car you want to drive, any route you want to take. If you want to get there in 10 minutes, if you want to take the scenic route, you know, our voice is multi-dimensional, it's multifaceted. It can do all types of things. However, language, right? So now I'm having another download of the Tower of Babel, right? Yep. And language being purposely given to us to keep us in the dark and limiting us on what we can say. Because if I just want to go, you'll be like, hey, bro, what's going on? But what if that was the thing to do to manifest
what
a new car?
Wanted. That's right.
Go ahead. Koto Dama, though.
So Koto Dama is the word spirit. Koto meaning the word, Dama, the spirit of, right? Even within English, right? But let me step back. So no matter what language one speaks, that language, like you said, the Tower of Babel, that has us all divided around the world by language, right? The tower leads up to self-knowledge. Okay, we can get there through any language because it's not about the words that are spoken. It is about the voice, like you said. I like that you differentiated that. Your voice is not your words. Your voice is your soul expression. And then we package our soul expression into the words. So the tradition of Kotodama is Japanese, and very basically, it just means that people strive to give good spirit to their words. Like your words are bubbles, and you fill it with energy, and then you send it on its way. Well, what kind of energy are you putting into your words, right? Are you putting the kind of energy into your words that would hurt somebody? Because if you do, you know, it's going to bounce back, right? That's karma. Are you putting the type of energy into your words that would help somebody? If that's the case, you get that back. Are you putting the type of energy into your words to help yourself or hinder yourself, right? If I say, I think I can do it, right? Am I saying I can do it? Not really. I might have, the words might have said I can do it, but if the voice isn't saying I can do that, right, then I ain't saying it. The spirit of my word is not matching the avatar or the shell or the language or the word or the actual word of what I'm saying. The spirit of the word, when you learn to align the spirit of what you say, be it to yourself or others, with what you're saying and with the intention, then you're doing powerful wizardry, right? So the intention determines what you say. And it can also determine the type of energy you'll put into what you say. And if those things are not in line, then you're not going to come up with a coherent energy that can move atoms and molecules and compounds and worlds.
Mama J, hallelujah. Is this Sunday? Damn. Is it church? This must be a revival day. This is a revival. God damn. Man, right? you say, man. So basically,
the voice is the heart.
Yeah.
The word is the throat. The intention, the third eye. Right? When those things are in line, that's what they say brings Christ consciousness. That's what invites Christ consciousness into your living, into your world,
into your reality.
Right.
But it ain't no faking the funk. Is basically, and it's an internal process.
Yep. So Kotodama is living with that knowledge that the spirit of your word matters. Yeah, that's the easiest way to say it I can think of right now.
Man, that right there, it really, I can hear it.
You deserve to be venerated for that.
Very virtuous, my friend.
Bless you.
No, this is very interesting because, like, I can sense in what people say, how they say it, what they truly mean, and it's always been a thing, but I never had a real name for it. But it's really Kotodama. That's really a different level, and that's really exemplifying the throat chakra. Can I ask you, how did you get to Kotodama?
Through Aikido. Sensei Moriya Ushiba, who created Aikido, studied Kotodama and used its principles in how he made his art. So for those unfamiliar, Aikido is what some people call the Japanese martial art of peace. Aikido is that art that you've seen where the guys or women, they wear the black hakama, looks like a skirt, long dress on the bottom, and the white gi on the top. Somebody's running at them full speed. They step to the side just a little bit, twist their finger or whatever, and the person goes flying off, right? It's when you use your opponent's energy to manipulate them to going in another direction or whatever else. And you don't have to use your own like that, other than grounding yourself. So Master, Japanese, Sensei Ushiba created this art, but he was a soldier, he was a swordsman, and he used the principles of swordsmanship to create this empty hand combat art of peace, where you don't have to break your enemy down to their smallest component, because then you create an enemy. But if you can show your enemy that while they're attacking you, you can thwart every attack. And if they really come hard at you and you can pin them down for as long as you want, but you stay cool about it, then you're showing them that there's a way that they can transcend themselves. And that's what his art was about. And the basic principles of his art came out of swordsmanship. It came out of the Shinto religion. It came out of Kotodama, having true spirit in your words. And that's where I was exposed to it, from learning Aikido.
Because I was just wondering how it's such a divine timing that you bring the Kotodama into the time of we're doing the throat chakra work and really getting into using your voice as an instrument for change, as an instrument for manifestation, as an instrument for prosperity, as an instrument for love, because you obviously can use it for destruction and turmoil. At least I can, or even the absence of using it at all. Right? Because now people walking all over you because you ain't saying nothing, and then you ain't saying nothing. Well, I guess you like it, so here you go. Keep getting it. You understand until you say stop. right? With the proper Kotodama, the right word spirit. You don't think that, man, I done seen all types of things change just by me verbalizing a particular vibration and intention. Maybe I loved the woman when I first seen her, but all I could muster was, hey, guess what she felt? That love in my heart. You understand? So it's a beautiful thing. And it's not very literal. But another point that I want to kind of touch on, because I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. A lot of people can really vibe with this when we reference self-talk. How does self-talk relate to the throat chakra, Kotodama, and your overall process of healing? Because that's what we're dealing with as well with Chiron. Like, you are mortally wounded, but that's only to bring about your healing. However, the self-talk keeps you mortally wounded. You feel me? Yep. So how do you work with self-talk? How do y'all work with self-talk? And how does that relate to y'all throat chakra work that y'all been doing?
Go, Ra, go.
I don't think that was necessary. Honestly, self-talk has always been a sticking point for an individual who contemplates. So, if I'm going to be right and exact, I'll say when I am self-talking in a negative aspect, a negative tone, a negative vibration, not really negative. I don't even think that word like fully grasps anything. Like, I would say if I am in a low vibrational tone, a low vibrational input, moment, so to speak. Moments or moments, plural. I would say that vibration will keep you in the sunken place. That vibration will keep you in that place where it's just like, oh, woe is me, nothing's going to change, nothing's ever going to come out of this, it doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. However, when the input is switched to sort of gratitude, gracious, grateful, expanding, or open to the different possibilities or the different elements that could come in and bring something else out. Like if you're just like half glass half full type of thinking, that self-talk, that talk puts you in a totally different realm. Like it puts you in that realm where it doesn't matter what's in front of you, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. Like,
can I pause you for 1 second?
Anything is possible. Go ahead.
So y'all are older than me, and I can only reflect on many times in my life where I've had negative self-talks, positive self-talks, and I done mojoed my way up into some positive occurrences just by having the positive self-talk for many different times in my life. When I was a teenager, 20, you name it, I've had times where I've been positive and positive things have happened. And I'm just like, are y'all the same way? Because it's kind of amazing that you have this cachet of experiences that can confirm that, okay, I might be going through something, but I first got to begin to get my mojo running in my mind. You feel me? Like, and at this point,
absolutely.
Do you still find it to be difficult at times? Hell yes. Like sometimes, man.
Fuck yeah.
It can get overwhelming. You feel me? So, but this throat chakra work is like giving me the mindset to say, wait a second. You know what I'm saying? But what you just said, it kind of like had me in the reflective point, like, damn, I done did this before. You know what I'm saying? Many, many times before. And it's just like, okay, I know how to start off my day tomorrow. I bet you I will have positive self-talk, even if it's you can do it. You know what I'm saying? It can even be corny. You feel me? Like, we done been at jobs, all types of shit.
And that's just the thing, you know, like these ideas that we are supposed to label it. Like the idea of labeling it is going to create that separation. Therefore, that separation needs a distinction, blah, blah, blah. Then you have to judge it. You have to grade it. Good, bad, right, wrong, left, right, up, down.
Yeah.
So even if you're having a low vibrational, you know, feeling, you know, like you can instantly change that, or you can just hold on to it. You understand? Like you don't have to stay there. You know, I think what happens is the causal body gets used to that shit. You know, it's almost like a repetition.
Yep.
So if you're used to that low vibration, you will stay in that low vibration until something brings you up out of it. But you almost forget that you can bring yourself up out of it. You know what I mean? Like you start to think that you're in you start to think that your external environment is supposed to bring you up out of it, like something's supposed to happen that's supposed to bring you up out of there. Like, no, you can do that on your own. But if you're used to it and your body actually starts to crave for it, then guess what? That's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to be.
That's an addiction, man. In some people, that's an addiction. Dang it! All right, he done paused, so I guess I better go.
Yeah. He broke the mode.
That was tight, man. That was tight. So that self-talk, when you first asked the question, the thing I thought about was, what good is talking if you ain't got somebody that's listening, right? The old adage, if a tree falls in the forest, you know, doesn't make a sound. Yeah, if you standing by. Right. So self-talk needs a witness. Self-talk needs a listener. And
can I digress real quick?
Yeah,
can I digress real quick? Just real quick. Just a short question. When you're talking to yourself, who is the one doing the talking? Who's the one doing the listening?
Hello.
Exactly. Right. And that's where I started learning. I started using my ears. Right. I said, all right, I'm trying to remember the story that made me first pick this. There was a monk. It's an old story. Let me not say that. I don't know who told this story, but basically, let's say that there was a place where this place had 2 guard dogs. And, you know, they stayed outside guarding this particular area. Both of them did their job very well. And one was very mean to people, and the other was kind and, you know, a good soul. And one day a little person comes by and says, wow, you know, which one of those dogs are going to end up winning if they ever have to fight? And the old monk said, the one I feed. Right. So we always have a choice to, with our attention, feed whichever dog is barking the loudest in our mind. So I would have to say that I learned first and foremost.
You said feed the dog that's barking the loudest in your mind. I just had to repeat that because that's.
Yeah. So
I'm so done with you. I'm so done with you. I'm so done with you. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Like go ahead.
Like, interrupt, but dang. Like,
right.
Wow.
So the first thing I did was I stopped feeding all them Mickey Fickies. When I learned to meditate, I said, okay, if I can't tell which inner voice to trust, I ain't listening to none of y'all. And that's when I started learning about true inner silence and learning that, like you said, Rod, that there was a detachment point. There was a point where I could look at myself as separate from these thoughts, from these words that were floating around. And that was when I learned that I wasn't the one generating all of them. Some of them were coming from commercials, TV, movies, things I'd seen in the streets, things I heard from other people, things I heard from family, friends. You know, I started realizing that a lot of these dogs that were barking were not my dogs. And
your neighbor's dogs, and you
right?
were feeding your neighbor's dogs. You was going
neighbor
to the
wasn't
store,
even paying me for no dog food.
Alpo,
Purina.
goddamn Friskies.
For them cats.
Wasn't even
right.
your dog. Not your cat.
What if you don't even like dogs? Like,
and you don't even
Right.
like dogs. I don't.
Right.
Oh, man,
So then, you know, when I really that was I would say that's when my meditations really started taking a more deep turning point in my life, right? The more I started meditating as the listener and not trying to determine which speaker I was, the more I started meditating as the listener, the more I realized how much control I was given to this talk that was going on within me. And that's when I learned to find my inner voice. Now, it didn't mean at that time, or even now, I'm still practicing. It didn't mean that my inner voice was ready to just sprout out to the world. I had to test it, right? Every time I decide to do something, I have to sometimes hype myself up. You know, I haven't quite learned to fully turn myself inside out yet and be totally comfortable and confident. There's some vulnerability, but at least I know now that my inner voice gets put through the checks. And the checks are, okay, you're saying something. Where is this coming from? Is it coming from somebody else? Is it coming from me? If it's coming from me, is it coming from fear? If it's not coming from fear, what is it coming from? Is it coming from anxiety? Is it coming from lack, a spirit of lack? Or is it coming from lust? You know what I'm saying? I check myself now, my inner voice.
Yeah,
right? And then, you know, I let it.
Them
I let
spirits,
it be.
boy, them spirits.
Yeah.
Like the spirit versus the soul. And people trying to feed every dog in the fucking neighborhood, man.
Yep.
You understand that? Walking up and down the street, trying to feed every single dog in the neighborhood and realizing that that's not even your responsibility.
Right.
You don't even realize that house on the hill, that mansion, that's your house.
Yeah, man.
You can walk up in there and tell your butler, hey, tell your chef, hey, guess what? I'm hungry.
I would like some mushroom risotto, please.
You feel me? I'm vegan. You feel me? All of the hot stuff that you be trying to tell me,
yeah.
You can begin to tell your damn chef, hey, I'm vegan.
Yep.
All right, let's cook for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be getting online trying to propagate because you see somebody else do something, your neighbor, and now you ain't even realize your neighbor got a loud ass dog bark that's going to resonate in your mind for eternity till you realize that, hey, it's not my responsibility
this joint. Right.
to feed you.
Right.
To even get to the point of meditation. So now imagine the responsibilities. Think about it. The difficulty in meditation is the need to serve all of these particular energies. Is the door locked? You know, is I hope these kids don't knock on the door while I'm trying to focus. You know what I'm saying? Just all of these existential things that if you would have cleared out before you even realized,
sat down, that's right.
Even sat down, you could really focus into that inner voice, and that's extremely poignant, venerative,
virtuous.
virtuous.
You know what? I would just like to perpendiculate that point and I would just like to perpendiculate that
never
point.
Thought I'd hear that word
and you know, and just bring it full circle for the family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
where that?
No. All jokes aside, like we're here for a good time, not a long time. All jokes aside, though, that's right and exact. Like that's what it is. You know, like I think my checkbox goes off in my head is, you know, is it program or is it me? You know, like authenticity is my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not organic and authentic, then I really don't care for it. You know, but I have to allow it into my being because it's what's going on within this. You know what I'm saying? This doth right here, right? So, but the self-talk can be changed. It can be manipulated. You are the puppet master, correct? So like you can manipulate that self-talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you can turn that self-talk into whatever it is that you want. Like you see a fly girl in the street, and even though she is probably out of your league, you still go and talk to her, right? And you say the fly shit like Hood say, hey. You know what I'm saying?
She'll feel that hard. Like, oh, he really thinks I'm
You know what I'm saying? She felt all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like just with those 3 letters right there. Just with those 3 letters right there, she was like, "Oh, he won't marry me." Just off of hey, you know what I'm saying? So like literally, like these things are all possible. But I love that he has that on the screen. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. That is your creation point. You know what I'm saying? So that matches your vibration, your vocal cord, the intensity of that vocal cord, and which you are saying that thing. You know, what is that thing? That is the beginning of the inception of your fucking creation. Like you create that, you know what I'm saying? So just like you could be screaming in somebody's face and be wrong all the way, but your ego creates this atmosphere where you could just be yelling so loud that you just shut everything down. You just shut everything down. That's your creation right there. You could do it the opposite way too. There are many different levels to this thing. So with the self-talk, like that's your creation point. You know, you don't have to sit there and say, woe is me. You don't have to sit there and say, woe is me. Yo, you don't have to. You know, I know you're used to it, but you don't have to. And that's what this work is.
Yeah. And I guess we get to a point, and I guess we could kind of like 2 more things, and we can kind of, you know, leave it be. I know it's a specific time, and I don't know, however people choose to rock today, but you know, today we gonna have to deal with a lot of small talk depending on your vibration and your
space,
your space, and you know how you choose to spend your day. Now, what we are referencing is the most sublime, multifaceted area within your body, which is the neck. Right, and your throat and your voice and all of these types of things. So the reason, because you're a spiritual being, right? Everything you say matters. Everything you say matters, and when I say matters, I mean it takes the physical abstract and takes it into matter.
Word.
So when you are wasting your energy today on, you know, small talk, have a reserve, have an alternative, have something to replace that. Sign up 11/28, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was a shameless plug.
That was nice though. That rolled right in.
That was a dope plug. That was a dope plug. Because I was gonna suggest an extra cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my cup runneth over, or I was just gonna suggest a separate cup, but you just like that was perfect. Dope. That was dope.
Straight up.
No, but seriously, your words are important, and the things that you say truly matter. So understand this as we come through these portals and gateways, and we're in this time where the 5D and the 3D is one thing, right? So what does that look like? Well, that just depends on your actual wordplay now, doesn't it? Yes. Okay? Because I done seen some things, you know. It ain't all doom and gloom for everybody. You know what I mean? I got people in my life that been doing some hardcore manifestation, and I'm like, well, shit. They're like, yeah, man, ever since I got a reading from you, I done made this, I done did that. And I'm like, wait a second now. Hold on. Wait, hold up. Oh wait, you did what? You where? You doing who? You know who? You what? Huh? Wait a second now. Hold on. I had to do some reflection work, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to. Everything is like I'm very mindful about what I say and what I say and how I think because I don't have to limit myself as much as I do from my training and my upbringing and my poverty mindset and always expecting the worst and all of that. I don't have to be there. Yeah. And I say all of this to say, y'all have helped me because I don't have small talks. I have profound motherfucking life, ancestral, generational curse
lifting
talks. Yep. You understand? I have prosperous talks. You understand what I'm saying? So in doing this work, you got to really value yourself. And I know that the self-talk in valuing yourself is the most important thing. That's the hardest thing to say what you are worth. When you ain't never even came to that conclusion that you worth anything. Okay? You trying to be external. But if you reflect to everything that we're saying, the soul constantly meditating, the soul being the value, the heart, the voice, the understanding of your true value, then you begin to speak from that perspective. You're going to be getting some things, or you're going to be manifesting some things. Things are going to be a little bit better for you. And because of that, you have to just kind of take it all. Like I've been having to take it all in, like everything, you know what I'm saying? And it's like today I thought it was going to be one way. I thought I was going to be militant, but in another, and now I'm just like having all of the small talk and I'm having all of the builds, and I'm most fortunate for everything because once this day is over, you understand, I'm back to it. I'm back to, you know, manifesting, using my power, speaking with truth. But I tell you, this whole throat chakra process has been the most valuable experience in my life because I know who I am. You understand? I know when I speak, it matters. And I know what I'm saying is who it's for and why I'm even saying it. And so I want that for you. And I don't want you to just kind of just be small talking it your whole life. I don't want you to think that everything can come across as just like you faking the funk. You understand? Like it's a whole different world when you speaking from an authentic place. Like you can open yourself up to so many multi-dimensions, so many past lives, so many conversations with ancestors, you name it. You understand?
Infinite
and
possibilities.
Yes. And that's what's been happening. You know, the word is God. That's a limit because God is not even in that word. That's just like a sign. God is a literal sign for the direction of where God is actually at. Because if we was having a real
look at
conversation,
the finger, look at the moon.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's almost like when they say the sky is the limit. No, my nigga, it's only the view.
That's all you see. That's just what you see.
It's only the view. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, if you look in there, what's behind that bitch though? You know what I'm saying? Like what's on top of that bitch though? What's in the middle of it though? Word. You know what I'm saying? Like these regurgitated, like limiting, like this is just like it's you know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted the Earl, like there's no word for it. I was just Earl when I hear those. You know what I mean? Like stop putting limits on yourself. Nobody told you you had to accept that. You know, so whenever you hear something that someone else said, that someone else said, that someone else said, that's their limiting beliefs. You don't have to accept that just because it sounds good to you. Just because that person said ashe and that person said Hotep, and that person said whatever the hell else, you know what I'm saying, feels good to wear an unk around your neck. Like, come on, like, let's keep it 1,000. Like, please, like, you create that shit. Create your own unk. Create your own sky. Create your own sun. Like, this is what it is. Like, this is what it is. This is what it is. Sorry, no cap.
That's it. That's it.
These talks with these brothers, like I'm the one that has done the psychedelics. I'm sure they might have ventured into it too. But these talks bring me into psychedelic range. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to play with you. Like, these talks that I have with these individuals bring me into psychedelic range. Yeah. And that is no cap. That is no cap whatsoever.
Keeps me high.
Yeah, and that's really the value of the conversations, because it's like, all right, it's a limited perspective of humanity based upon the structure of language. Now, I'm not bragging or boasting, but I've had to translate Spanish. I've had to translate French. I've had to research energies outside of English to come to conclusions that English language doesn't even give me the concept. So things like Pombagira, if it wasn't for Spanish documents and Portuguese documents, I would have never got the scholastic understanding that I needed to move forward. And these are just things that, you know, it's got to be something within us that language is the hijack. I'll do you one better.
It is.
Me and my two youngest children, we communicate telepathically. Like, I just understand them, they understand me, and it's always been that way. And the older that they get, the more that it's like, okay, it's there. When you're younger, when it first happens, you like think like, oh, I'm tripping. You can't just be tripping every day. The boy understands me, so it's just cool like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's language, right? And when yesterday we were doing offerings and I was listening to Nipsey Hussle, and then Nipsey Hussle cut the music off, and then there's just this high pitch frequency. And he's like, listen to this. Stop listening to that. Like, he even that was the first time, because I'm into Nipsey Hussle now. And it's like, well, I tried to listen to the CD. He's like, this ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's like my baby talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to this high pitch frequency.
Yeah.
You understand? And for me, that's always been the ticket. That's always been my bread and butter, man. Just, all right, I don't got it. I just need, it's always available too. Like, if you can just quiet your mind, you could just tune into it. It's a frequency, and it's a high frequency, but it's instant meditation. It's instant downloads for me, and it's just always there. But yeah, and it's like, that's where I'm at with this communication and the listening aspect. It's like challenging concepts, but I'm still me, so I'm gonna always keep it regular. But it's all like, I feel like the psychedelic experience that Ra was referencing is that's where I be at, you know, most of the time, and that's why small talk is always pulling me into a mundane and it's lowering my energy. However, I've noticed that give your energy to that too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, love those conversations as well. And you'll notice transformation, because shit, maybe they'll give you $50. And I'm not that spiritual to just, you know, disavow a $50 generator. You know, so.
I need those.
Appreciate
every single one of those.
Yeah.
I take the $3.99, the $4.99, the $5.99. I need all of those. I don't got no 9 to 5 player. This is what I do. This is what we do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that shit is apropos. Like, it just fits, yo. It just really fits, yo. And this conversation just really fits for what it is that we're bringing in. And like, I appreciate I appreciate the level of intensity that these brothers bring to it, because they make you raise your level every time, you know. So like, don't be afraid of raising your level. Like, you know, I mean, you shouldn't be afraid of raising your level. You haven't even touched the stratosphere of what your level could be. So like, I mean, why not? And it's crazy, but small tie-in, because everything I was studying this week before I did my cooking expose, you know, everything I was studying this week was brought up in this conversation. Everything I was studying, Chiron. All right. I was on one of my bulls. Rudolf Steiner. Okay. He was talking about Chiron. All right. He was breaking down everything that had to do with the Freemasonry trip, everything that had to do with language, everything that had to do with exactly what Hood was just referencing, and how even a mundane conversation is not something that you need to go and judge it. You go into the conversation in an observant level.
High energy.
With an observant level,
whatever
high
frequency.
energy, and you put your everything into that conversation, because you never know what you could get from it.
That's
you
right.
never know what you can get from it, bro.
Facts.
You never know. So and instead of judging and prejudging and predetermining what's going to happen before it happened, like, how about you just create and let something unfold? Like, I'm just saying.
Bro, you be rapping the hell out them gifts, Rob.
It's Christmas time.
You know what? You know what? I'm on my Chiron too, so you can just kill it right now. I'm on my Chiron too, so you can just kill it right now.
So my very last point, and I'm gonna tie into what you were just saying, Rob, was gratitude versus expectation. And it's like, for me, I'm perpetually grateful and never really expecting of anything. And many people say, like, you shouldn't be like that. But I get the dog eat dog and the, you know, take one to no one and all that type of energy, or, you know, take one eye, you know, eye for eye type of energy. I get that, you know, but I just choose to be grateful for everything and never fully expect as a formula for growth. And where I say that, like, if it works for you, great. But if you're having trouble or you're struggling and you're trying to change some things, minus the course, minus anything, like, forget everything. You want to figure this thing out. Well, you got to start with your self-talk, and you got to be grateful for the self-talk. Because if you can reference a self-talk, then that means that somebody's listening. Because Prime Harmonic said, if a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear it? Well, no. But if you have a self-talk and you understand, oh, I'm being evil to myself, or I'm being loving to myself, then that means that there are two energies or more that are corresponding to your self-talk. So the energy that is responding to your self-talk is abstract and cannot be seen and cannot be heard or cannot be fathomed. However, it is there. So minus the course, minus anything, profess to the God within you gratitude. Because if you talk about anything outside of that, then I don't know what I'm a little bit afraid for you. You understand what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing keeping your heart. I'm not keeping your heart beating. Prime not keeping your heart beating. Dark Serpent not keeping your heart beating. The God within you is keeping your heart beating, for which you deserve. It deserves to be grateful. It deserves gratitude. And if you are expecting somebody to do something to which, are you sure your heart is going to be beaten in that time for which you are receiving that expectation in these days and times? I can't say that's for sure. I can't say that. And that's my honesty with y'all. So your ability to be grateful for these moments on these days without you picking up a hotepery document about what had happened 300 years ago, to which I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
no. You need to be grateful today, tomorrow, and the next day. You need to give
Mm-hmm.
today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Yeah.
If you on my channel, if you understand, if you on my
Mm-hmm.
frequency,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Because it's dog eat dog scam channels, you know, right down the hall, right? Doing a live
Mhm,
video about how to get
mhm.
over on a woman, how to get over on a man, how to do a ritual, how to do a spell, right?
Yeah.
Right down the
Mhm.
hall.
Yeah.
To which you on your own. I
Yeah.
can't help you with that.
Mhm.
But if you want to circumvent all of the nonsense and overcome all of the bullshit, you simply profess to your soul gratitude
Yeah.
for existence, for consciousness. Because I remember being a human vessel without consciousness. I remember that.
Woo.
I remember that. And it was painful.
Mm. Mm.
Very
Venerate
painful.
your soul.
Venerate your
Venerate
soul.
your
It's
soul.
very virtuous.
It's
But that was my
virtuous.
closing talk. And
Perpendiculate.
I would like to get your thoughts and really closing that out. You know, gratitude versus expectation, and how and just get a family something. You know, as they go through their holiday weekend and things of that nature.
Let the optimistic prom have that first.
All right, man. So as I've been growing stronger in my meditation, through practice, every time you sit and meditate, it's a brick on the wall, right? I've been learning to stay out of the future. Now, don't get me wrong. I got a plan. I got a kid. I got to make sure she has something, when I die. I ain't talking about that. Yes, I have to plan for my future. But what I'm talking about is expecting, like if I'm talking to someone, I might be intelligent enough to understand where their conversation is going. But am I open enough to listen as they're talking to see what next jewel I can pull from saying, because I'm listening as opposed to thinking what they're saying. I'm actually hearing what they're saying. So for me, that expectation part, I've learned to kind of not feed it as much. That's one of them dogs that don't get fed as much. It has to sit to the side, sit, stay, heal, right? You can have your opinion about what you expect to happen, but that's not what we're going to act on. We're going to act on what is in front of us, what is happening right now. So to me, gratitude was the mechanism that I used to quiet my expectations. Because to quiet my expectations, I had to be thankful for what I was hearing, what I was seeing, what I was getting in this moment. And in order to be thankful for what I'm getting now, I can't be in the mode of expectation. Those two things kind of clash. I have to put expectation behind me and just be. And as I'm just being, if somebody blesses me with a nice conversation or a monetary gift or a picture, a view, right? I can be grateful. If my heart is still beating, I can be grateful for that intelligence within that is masterfully organizing, creating more blood plasma and blood cells for me and keeping my eyes alive on the planet. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that if I'm in a mode of expectation. So it is learning to have gratitude in the everyday jewels around me that allowed me to tame my expectations. Yeah.
Yeah. Tame that
Beautiful.
dog. Tame that dog.
Beautiful. And if I was going to add to what my brother just said, I would just say that those two things can coexist at the same time without you faulting yourself if one or the other does not happen. Without you faulting yourself because a certain expectation wasn't met at a particular time does not mean that you are, like it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean like, oh shit, woe is me, jump off this cliff right now because I did all of this work and it didn't come to that point where I wanted it to come to. Maybe it was another thing that you were supposed to grasp on the way. Maybe there was something else that you were supposed to pick up along that way. And if those expectations are not your own, if those expectations are things that you incorporated into your being because you watch something on TV or because you are comparing yourself to what someone else has, then you don't need that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not yours. So having expectations, you know, and not faulting yourself for not meeting those expectations is not the end of the world. But being in a place where you don't absolutely pin yourself to the wall because something didn't correspond or didn't happen or didn't come to fruition, like it doesn't mean that it's the end of your world. It just means that A, you have more work to do, or B, you was probably looking in the wrong place. But guess what? If you are the creator, you still get to co-create and make something more. So don't fine tune yourself to one place. You know, give yourself a plethora of options. Give yourself an idea of expansion and expression, and give yourself a clean playing field. Because the motherfuckers on TV and on YouTube, and like Hood said, right down the hall, they could give 2 fucks. Like they could give 2 fucks. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't give a fuck about yourself and you're not organically and authentically creating and co-creating for yourself, like what are we really even doing this for? You know what I'm saying? It's good to have expectations, but it's better to have self-care, right? It's better to have the opportunity and to venerate that soul. That soul is virtuous. That soul is incomprehensible. That soul is unfathomable. Okay, so try and contemplate that. Try and contemplate that higher self, that place, that thing, that point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that is. Like that's what this work is. You know what I'm saying? Like I love these 2 dudes and I venerate, and I believe they're 2 very virtuous individuals. How about that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to increase my expectations now, but if they don't come to fruition, I'm not going to trip.
Ashe. Yeah, because it's very important. It's very important. I had an expectation to be, you know, on the radio one day. You understand? Like that's an expectation that I never really consciously or even realistically imagined myself to be on a radio station, but I'm gonna be on a radio station. So it's not like that if I didn't have that expectation, I wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? So it like I could have an expectation to be a DJ or to be an artist or to do all of these things, and that's perfectly fine, right? However, noticing that like how I'm gonna get there is through the great gratitude of my energy to, you know, keep everything going and floating, man. It's a lot of things that I'm grateful for, like 10 fingers, 10 toes. Like that'd be some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, goodness gracious, you know, 2 arms, healthy children. You know, my wife, I walk in the room, my wife ain't, you know, breathing under her breath. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to be grateful for, that this is the vehicle to allow me to realize my expectations. And
that's dope right there.
It's amazing, you know, this whole process. But, you know, we just kind of was just shooting the SHIT, you feel me? But the class gets a little bit more intense. The class goes down, not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These guys will be here with me. We would love for y'all to join us. And like I said, any financial issues and you need some assistance, please let me know. If you want to get somebody else signed up, you want to get somebody else signed up. If you in another country, if you having trouble with the platform, you understand whatever the blockages is, we can absolve them at this point. The goal is just to share this information so you can share this information because we're still cooking. We ain't even put it out we ain't even served the people yet, honestly. So y'all are really helping us kind of formulate and give us valuable feedback that allows, okay, the next class to be better. So, if you're interested in that, let us know. We're here to be critiqued and all of that. So, because if we are here doing this and y'all like, well, we don't understand and we don't like it, we wouldn't be wanting to do nothing. You feel me? So, give us the feedback, give us the critiques, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. The links are in the description to sign up, and I'll give us some links to where people can find y'all before we sign out.
I'm on Instagram at prime.harmonic, and I have a YouTube channel. I need to start throwing some more videos up there, but the easiest way to reach me is on Instagram or on Gmail at prime.harmonic@gmail.com.
Yeah, I am Doc Serpent. That is Doc_Serpent 17/24 on Instagram. You can hit me up at ss.media0823@protonmail.com or N as in Nancy r.ideals@gmail.com.
Peace to the family. Thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see y'all on the flip side.
Peace.
Peace.